Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me in this top 100 games of all times. In today's video, we're going to go from number 40 to 31. At number 40, we have a game that was 48 last year, and this is Watson and Holmes. Watson and Holmes is one of the few competitive murdering mystery games. There's a murder that you need to solve or something similar, and you have several locations. You have your pawn, and you visit that location, and then you open the envelope and you read what's in the location and you keep it for yourself. Some locations have useful information, some of them are not. And what I like is that you can cordon off or block a location with some tokens. And so there's kind of that game. Are you telling me there's something interesting in that location or you're just bluffing? That is a nice attention. I like the interaction because you have a feeling that someone is ahead, you're chasing it, or you're trying to slowing it down with placing those tokens. But at the same time, it's a little bit solitary because you are by yourself reading the story. But I like at the end when someone solves the case, you discuss, oh, I didn't figure this out. How did you get to that conclusion and such and such? That's a neat game. You may argue you have a limited number of cases, but I'm going to tell you, if you pick any case right now we will play, I don't remember any of them. So I'm always ready to play Watson and Holmes. On number 39, we have a game that was 59 last year, and this is Raccoon Tycoon. I like stock market games, and there are not many that they do it well. And I like this one because it does in a very simple way. You play a card, and this card gives you some resources, and those resources also will trigger the price to go up and down. And then you can decide to sell resources, and the price will go down. So there's that kind of tension, how long you want to wait, because Dimitri may pull the trigger and sell lots of wine, and then all your wines will be worthless at the next round. So very cool of that. And then you use the money to auction some cards, which essentially is a set collection. So the more of one type, the higher is the multiplier. You also can build a little bit of an engine at the board if you buy some tiles. Very simple to teach, but so engaging and interactive. I like those type of games. For this reason, we have Raccoon Tycoon at number 39. At number 38, we have cooperative game. We don't have many cooperative games in my collection, but this is definitely one of them. And this is Rescue Polar Bear. It was 58 last year. Now it raised a little bit 38. I'm surprised, honestly, because I didn't play that much. And when I play cooperative game, I want to play something else. But good, yeah, it's that high. Rescue Polar Bear has a very classic feeling, like very pandemic like. What you do, you're trying to find the data points. So you're studying the climate change and you need to get some data points around the South Pole. And while you're doing that, some of the polar bears may fall into the water, so you need to rescue them. So very pandemic style, you do your actions and then you draw or you roll a die to see where the polar bear will spawn, which part of the ice will melt, and things like that. I like the theme. If I want to introduce a pandemic type of game, perhaps I pick Rescue Polar Bear just because it's different. Pandemic, you've seen it everywhere. You can buy in any store. This is a little bit more niche, has a cute components, but the feeling is the same. So that's why I go towards this direction. And I think it's a solid game. Number 38, Rescue Polar Bears. Number 37, we have a game that was 21 last year. This is a Euro game that is simple and is satisfying. Maybe it's the theme that is doing for me, and it's Last Wheel. Last Wheel essentially is a race to lose all the money that you have. You earn a big fortune from your dead uncle, and but he asks you one thing only: you need to score them. So the game is all about selecting an action or location to do things like buying a house at a very high price and letting rotten, or book a fancy hotel and don't show up, and so you need to pay the fee for that, or buy a horse, invite the horse in an expensive cruise, and then buy food for the horse at the cruise. Think crazy things like that. It plays very quickly. It's very interactive because you race for the locations that you want to do. You see, especially the house market, it gets very hot, in terms of buying and selling, buying a high price, selling low price, and see how their people are doing. Very, very fun. Number 37, Last Wheel. Number 36, we have a classic. It was 68 last year. And this year is 38, and this is Dominion. Probably if you're watching this video, you know what Dominion is. It's the godfather of deck building. You start with a small deck of cards, you play cards to get better cards, and those better cards will go back to your hand, and then you can play again to get more cards. And eventually, you need to decide to use those cards not only to make your deck stronger, but also to convert it into victory points, which will not do much. So you need to decide when to switch gear from getting cool cards and when to get points. If you get points too early, you're gonna draw those points in your hand and they don't do anything to you, but because points only will be useful at the end of the game. So a very interesting dynamics, seamless game, but because of just that mechanism so well done, this is a must try game for sure. Dominion 35. We have a game that was 30 last year. This is a party game of some sort, Captain Sonar. In Captain Sonar, you have two teams playing Battleship, but you play in a real time fashion. You have a guy mentioning north south, so you are moving your submarine on, and when you shout north south, the opponents know that you're going north south, and they have a transparent sheet, and they try to figure out by how you move because there are also locations that you cannot move. There are piece of land, and so they try to figure out based on the route where you could be, and then there's that kind of exciting moments. Halt! And then you shoot the missile and you hit the opponents. There's so much tension every time. It's hard to bring to the table because ideally you want 6 to 8 people. Very well it does. It's so much fun. You definitely play it more than once. Number 35, Captain Sonar. Number 34, we have a game that was 67, and this is Clue. No, whatever version of Clue. I have a sweet spot for Clue. No matter what, I like it. I like sitting there and trying to figure out which card is held by which person. Find the cards in the center. Yes, there is a roll and movement part, which we remove it, but we can also remove. I don't mind it, honestly. I'm not there to win it. I'm there to figure out the puzzle, and I enjoy the time puzzle every time. So sorry forgive me to put Clue that high in the list, but I really enjoy it. Number 34, Clue. Number 33, we have a new entry, and this is the White Castle. The White Castle is a very interesting game. In White Castle, you have essentially 9 turns that you're gonna take throughout the game. And you need to do many things. You need to bring soldier and develop your soldier. You need to have your farmer going on. You need to have your politician climbing to the ladder of the palace. And so you have so much to do, but so few turns. But yet, if you manage to place all the tokens, you can optimize your turn. You can deliver incredible combos that allow you to do so much with so little. What you do in your turn is simply you take one die and you place it in a location. And depending on the value of the die or where you place or which part of the die you take, there are different things that you can trigger. Very, very fun. There's a nice little puzzle that I can play in 90 minutes or even less. Fantastic game. I can see this game to be played many, many times and throughout the next years. And this is the White Castle. And number 32, we have Whistle Mountain. Whistle Mountain is a worker placement game to score. You have 3 workers, you place them and you trigger some action. So you can do some action, you can have some resources. What I like about it, you have a communal board that people will place tiles with machinery, like do cool stuff and give you extra resources. And that board is communal. So anyone will place the machine on the board can place their pawn there, and when they withdraw, someone else can go there. There are lots of things. There are achievements outside the board. There are all other stuff around special cards that you can get. There's so much you can do. No, all different good paths to victory, but you can do everything. So you want to specialize in something that makes the game very much replayable because every time you can try a different strategy. And this is number 32, Whistle Mountain. And at number 31, we had a game that was number 12 last year. I don't know if my love for this game is still strong, but I think it's pretty strong since it's 31. But none of this is as strong as before. And this is Mission Red Planet. I like Mission Red Planet because it's snappy. I like because it can be played with many peoples. And I like the tension that it creates. There's some whimsical things that can happen at the end of the game, the rounds, the scoring condition can change. And I really like the True Core. The way it works, you have 9 cards that indicate your actions. And the higher number cards are actually the one that are called the first, because in theory you have kind of a countdown from 9 to 1. So the higher card goes first, and it has a lower or weaker power, but allows you to place astronaut almost guaranteed on a spaceship. And the lower number will go last, but have a powerful effect. But sometimes you wait too long and you cannot trigger that. And then you have the usual card. You need to pick up all your cards back in your hand to start over again. 10 rounds to the game, so no match, but it's so tense, so entertaining and fun, easy to teach. It's a blast every time. Number 31, Mission Red Planet. And here you have it, from 40 to 31 top games of all times. And if you made it so far, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. You know the drill. This is not your first YouTube video, am I right? Thank you very much, and see you next time. Ciao.